Yeah, I was heartfelt, and I liked that part of the episode. What else do we have? We have everyone getting ready for this big get together. Well, that was the get together, so that was like the fun side, or the nice.
Adriana's butt.
Oh, tell me about Adriana's butt. Yes, we saw Adriana's butt. Boom, there it is.
You know what? Here's the thing. Look, I'm so tired of everybody getting fake butts. Just stop. Just stop. I mean, I get it. If you're like this, I get it. I get it. You want a little hey, little whoa, But come on.
Well, I plan on getting the hey and the whoa. Hello, doctor.
You need a little hey, little whoa.
Yeah. Because I'm like this. I need the hey and the whoa.
Look, I've worked. Let me just show you. I've worked very hard.
Oh, no, this one.
Hold on. I've worked very hard for what
Look
I
at
have
that
going
dookie.
on here. Okay, thank you.
Not a live demonstration.
And it is possible. If I can do it, you can do it too.
So that's where it comes from. You're like, I'm in the gym all the time. I've worked for it. You don't like seeing that everyone just jumps to technology now.
It's not even just that. It has more or less to do with the fact that everyone is complaining about mental health, right? Not complaining, but everyone is seeking resources to help with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're having body issues, just by getting it fixed isn't going to fix your mental state. Mm-hmm. But it has been proven by going to the gym, it releases endorphins, which makes you feel better. And if not only that, but it's rewarding because you worked for it. And it's like,
right.
Wow, I really put the time and effort into that. And not only that, you figure it takes effort, patience, and consistency to get somewhere. So your time is going to be consumed when it comes into building that natural butt, opposed to you're going to be in pre-op, you're going to be in post-op, and then you go back for a revisit to make sure everything's healing okay, and then you're done. So there's nothing in between there to just not even to distract you, but to keep your mind occupied. And I think a lot of times we get ourselves sick when our minds aren't occupied enough, when we have too much free time. And so I know for myself, I do have anxiety. I do stress a lot naturally. So by going to the gym, by meal prepping, by doing all these things, it keeps my mind busy, and there's a constant goal that I'm working towards. And so it's not just I've been in the gym and I worked for mine, go work for yours. It's more or less of like, stop putting a Band-Aid on the issues and actually fix it internally and put the effort
I can see
to fix it.
Say it again.
Just put the effort in and do the work that it takes to fix yourself internally before you go out and fix yourself externally.
Well, I can say that yes, because there is a level of it just being for the actual fitness for yourself, not necessarily anything visual. You can go like, I've been going lately, just the 3 days a week, very minimal exercising, and I kind of feel exactly what you were saying. Do I want results to happen like they did when I was 28? Sure. Are they happening? Not really.
And I'm the same way. Now that I'm 30, I'm like,
yeah, it's like the body changes
really
metabolically. But what I will get to, and I think I was telling you the other day, I was like, oh yeah, it was like a Saturday night, and like there was nothing social that was happening for me. Not that I have a boring social life or anything like that, but I like went to the gym late on a Saturday, and it was more or less, and I know we got to talk about Miami, but it was more or less because I needed to get my mind more focused. You see, within the works that I do, a lot of freelance work, I'm sometimes on a West Coast time zone and an East Coast time zone in terms of my work and the correspondence. It's very challenging, and sometimes that beats me up, and then I'm like, oh gosh, the sleep, and it becomes a whole thing. And luckily lately, just trying to go and exercise a little bit has been great. I look at it like this, like just start slow. If there's no progress, fine. But you gotta just like build it up. You know what I mean? So, I've lost the weight once, and so I plan to do it again. But I do joke that, oh man, what a cool thing that would be to get the BBL and kind of get that quick fix. The only problem with that is what's next. What's the other thing that's a problem for you? If you have money to get all this stuff done, what's the next thing you're gonna do? Soon enough, you're gonna look like You know, they were showing old photos of Diana Jenkins from Beverly Hills Housewives, her old face and her new face.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be so far off from who you are. Adriana is a beautiful woman at a certain age. I just hope, and we'll move on to the next topic here. I hope the pressure of this TV show and Miami lifestyle does not make her feel lesser than, because we like her. You know, we sometimes don't like her actions, but we've never doubted her beauty. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, as is this entire cast. Yeah,
very much. And I, like I said, I just feel a certain way about BBLs and about glute augmentations, just because I'm like, again, if you go and you do the work and you've tried it and you're like, I'm in there every single day, like Caroline Manzo's daughter. You know, she was doing 2 hours of kickboxing every single day, and she was not able to lose the weight before she decided that she wanted to get either the gastric sleeve, or I don't think it was gastric bypass, but I think it was the lap band. And then she decided to do that because it was going to help her health, and she had been putting in the work, and there was no results. And sometimes there's a medical issue and why you can't do certain things, like you might have a thyroid issue. So there's a lot that plays into it. But again, like, figure all that out first before you decide to go to the plastic surgeon and have all that done, because celebrities are now speaking out, like Cardi B, that she regrets, in a sense, of getting her own augmentation in her butt. But I mean, again, it's kind of made her career, and it's excelled her career. So I mean, there's going to be a trade-off.
You know what they say you got to do? Just have a stellar personality, and you'll always win. Sadly, with the invention of Instagram and these types of social media elements that reward not just, you know, people like musicians or people on TV, just even for the common person, a high schooler, you know, a college student, they're getting rewarded by their looks on social media. It's really done a lot to people's minds. You know, as much as I want to get myself in tip-top shape, I also know, baby, I am Ronnie, and like, I celebrate that. You know what I mean? And I just, we could go on and on. This could be a separate topic, but it's a lot. It's kind of good that Adriana put it out there, because it allows us to talk about it critically, I think. What?
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Like, it allows us to talk about her. I was like, wow.
No.
Okay.
No. I've been a lot nicer. Hey, real quick before we get to the last part, and I guess, unless there's anything else, the last bit we could talk about sort of like Gertie's conversation in the van with Dr. Nicole, and where that goes with Dr. Nicole's opinions of Larsa. But before we did, we had been doing this thing on this particular show where we do little shout outs. You know, not that anyone necessarily needs our shout out, but I was going to say it was actually really, really cool to see. Carlos King had a podcast that he did with Kate Casey, and they were talking about all things Real Housewives of Miami. Turns out they love this show, and both of them are so strong in their own podcast. So when they got together, it was fun. It was funny. They were talking about all things Real Housewives of Miami and why the show is probably the highest on the franchise and why the cast members work, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a shout out to Carlos King and Kate, because they were bringing the heat. And the thing about it too is they were actually giving perspective to Julia and Martina in a way that I had never really thought too. So what I always say is, this show, everybody, there's room for everyone to commentate and recap it, because everyone takes something different. Like, I didn't take all the things that they took from like a Julia storyline. And they probably don't like Larsa like I like Larsa, you know, Team Larsa all day. What? Every day.
Every day.
Anyways, Dr. Nicole, what do you think of her issue with Larsa?
So I think Larsa has space to be upset about hearing Dr. Nicole judging her, prejudging her, having certain feelings towards her. I think she has every right to feel that way. However, I